All right, here we are, Joe. We made it to the heavyweights, made it to the big men, the dancing bears, if you will. We know these aren't dancing bears at this heavyweight class. We have some really good ones here, and I'm going to start off talking about John Cluin from Bensalem, 33-0. John's had a great season. He's won everything that he's wrestled in terms of tournaments and an individual basis, and obviously in dual meets. He's a big specimen. He's slapped together. He's an athlete. And I think he's got some grit that some of these heavyweights in our southeastern region have no idea about. So I think that he's our favorite here at this weight class. We're both in agreement. And then Blevins from Oxford, we both have him coming out of the 3rd seed, kind of getting through this bracket and getting into the finals. Blevins is a guy that's going to have to make a decision between, football and wrestling come down after graduation. We'd love to have him up at Lebanon Valley College and playing football for the Dutchman. I'm just throwing that out there for you, Sam Blevins. But these are 2 good heavyweights that we're going to have in the finals. But there's going to be some guys in the road, Joe. We've talked about Colton Deary all year long. I mean, this is a young kid that moved to the top of the rankings here earlier in the season. And as you can see, he is currently at number 2 in this weight class. But he's going to have some tough sledding out of the gate. He's going to have to get by the number 1 seed because his loss at districts. And that loss, is kind of going to punish him a little bit. He's going to have to probably drop down and wrestle back through. But we have Colton Deary getting out. And then, again, we both kind of have the same guys here in this weight class. I have Mark Thompson, in the 4 hole there. You have Bramwell in the 4, and then I have Bramwell in the 5, and you have Thompson in the 5. So, it all depends on how things shake out again in the wrestlebacks in this one. It's kind of tough to go back through and look at it because I think Joe and I might have a little bit differently. But if I can just jump into my consolation bracket, I have Thompson against Pickens. I have Thompson winning that match. And then I have Deary and Bramwell down below. I have Deary winning that. And then I have, Bramwell in the 5 hole. And Joe, you have him, I guess winning there. And you have Deary kind of staying up top and coming back down out of the semifinal. So that makes sense for us, at least for me, when Joe and I are talking about this weight class. So I think we kind of, we handicapped this one pretty much the same. And as you know, it's the first one that falls. I mean, the first one that can wrestle through the match to get the win here at the heavyweights. But I think we're pretty clear that, we have a couple good ones here. And John Cluin is had a great season. And I expect him to medal at States. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I think he goes to States undefeated and wins his first 2 matches there and medals. Bold statement.
Bold statement right here on February 22nd. Again, Cluin is the guy right now until proven otherwise. And we'll see when it happens this weekend. When they get on the mat. Blevins kind of, again, a guy flew under the radar for most of the season. Didn't get the same, I guess, ink and publicity that Cluin and Deary did. And all he does is go and beat Deary in that West section final. And puts himself in a pretty good position to make the final again. He's gonna have an opportunity to make a run and make the final again, which I believe he will, as you do. Deary comes back for 3rd. Bramwell, again, he's a senior. He's another year older. Had a lot of success last year in the postseason. I like Thompson from Wissahickon. I think he does a nice job, and Amir Pickens as well. Excuse me. At this weight class, some other guys. Sean Brogan's kind of like an enigma for me because sometimes he wrestles well and sometimes he doesn't. He actually did say to me at one point in time at district duels, every time PA Wrestling shows up to cover him, he loses. Sorry, sorry, Sean. I did apologize at the time. I apologize again. It is what it is. We weren't there covering at the North section, and you went out and won. So coincidence? I think not. Unfortunately, we're going to be floating around a lot. Our presence will be felt at regional. So just giving you a fair warning to prepare yourself. Hope to see the same type of effort and success you had at the North section this weekend. And with that, he can be definitely the guy that could knock on the door to get out or find himself in that 5-6 match.
Oh, absolutely. I have Brogan and Deary, in that wrestle back third round. I mean, that's Brogan's dangerous. Obviously, he's going up against Happy Horsham kid out of the gate, Mark Custer, not really stellar with a 9-14 record, and Brogan's going to get into that match with Thompson in the quarterfinals. I mean, I'm not saying flip a coin there, but listen, you cannot have a bad Friday night here, Joe, at regionals. I mean, you just can't have a bad Friday night. So Brogan could be one of those guys that sneaks in, to the semifinals if Thompson doesn't come out, on fire. And he'll have his hands full with Brogan. So, like I said, I mean, I know we're handicapping it the same way with the same 6 guys, but, don't be surprised if somebody else is in there. And Brogan's dangerous. There's no question about it. So, again, unlike most wrestling fans, I'm pretty excited about these upper weights from 182 on up. And I will be in the gym watching those matches.
Likewise.